Welcome to the Shosai training, how to give a testimonial in your MLM. So it's kind of a lot like the how do you give an elevator pitch or an escalator script. If you haven't seen that, look up that video, elevator pitch training video. It's a little bit similar and there's some points where they overlap. Check that one out. You'll see a little bit about what I'm talking about from there. There's all sorts of different ways to do it. We're going to give you 3 basic ways and then kind of a little bit of a fourth. But really, just like you use all the different colors out of the 3 main colors, you can make any flavor you want of your testimonial. Just take a little bit of each, it'll work. The first one we're going to call the Back to the Future model. It's pretty simple. It's before, after. Start off with before I tried this product, I was, and then what happened to you. So there's your problem. Before I tried this product, before I tried this service, before I found everything, I was this. You know, it's kind of like before Google went online, I had to use a postcard to get search results. And now after Google's online, I now get search results in moments. So that's kind of an idea about that. So before, then, and after. Then it's after again, and the after again is after you had that result, after having the product, after having the service, whatever it is that you're doing a testimonial about, you talk about what that felt like for you. Before I had to use a postcard for Google and I waited 30 days for search results, and after it came in seconds, now I feel like I want to promote Google on my business card. There you have before, after. Just remember that what you're trying to do is come up with a solution to a problem. So the before is the problem, and then the after is the solution, and then how you felt about that solution. So the next one that we're going to do is what I call the Big Bang theory of doing testimonials. It's talking about change, but it's not like Darwin. It's not gradual change. It has to be a fairly impactful change. Kind of reminds me of the story of the frogs. If you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, the frog will jump out immediately. But if you put that same frog in a room temperature pot of water, the frog will stay there, and if you gradually change the temperature and heat that up a degree at a time, that frog will get accustomed to the water and will stay in there until you boil him to death. So the kind of change we're looking for is the kind that's going to make you jump out of the pot. So just remember that. That's the kind of change we're talking about here. It's massive change that we're looking at. And it's the kind of change that's very evident. You see it happening and you know that that change is there. So if it's a weight loss product, it's because you can show your belt and how it used to be here and now it is here. The fact that you used to be blind and now you can see, you used to be lame, now you can walk. Those are all the massive change kind of things that we're talking about. We're not talking about trying to make something up. We're talking about actual changes that have happened to you because of what's happened. So if it was a service, it might be a little bit different than if it was a product. So you'll have to be able to demonstrate it. The next testimonial is the kind that takes an objection or an obstacle that we need to pass over to be able to make the sale, and we cover it in a testimonial or a story. It's looking ahead at problems that could be a wall to stop them from buying the product. We know it's a common objection. We have a story ready to match that problem that people might have. Some of those problems might be, hey, I just don't have enough time to do this business. There's just not enough time to do it. So you can come up with a story about how you thought there was not enough time, or there's somebody in your group that was able to do this only in an hour and a half a day, and now they're making X amount of dollars. That's a good story that talks about that kind of stuff. You kind of get the idea about this. The other one might be, I don't have enough money, or it costs too much, or any money kind of issue. Perhaps you thought it was a little bit too much at first, and then you realized that you were saving money each month because of the product. Those are all ideas about it's before and after, again, just like the original, but now it's aimed specifically at an objection. Another one is, this won't work, or this won't work for me. And again, you can come up with a testimonial about why it has worked for you or why it's worked for somebody that you know. Another way to say it is FFF minus F, fun, 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 till your daddy takes the T-bird away. It's the feel, felt, found But since you're doing it in front of people, you don't know if they've felt it before. So I feel what you're saying. I felt the same way. Then I found the solution. You take out the feel part and you say, I felt this and I found this solution. I felt this problem, same as you probably are going to have or may have, and I found this solution. So it's felt and found in the testimonial. Testimonials need to be really, really short to grab people's attention, just like the elevator pitch. You want them to be able to ask, really, how did that happen? You want them to be curious. So the next one is more typical of MLM testimonials, and you start off with, hello, my name is, my background is in blank. State your problem, whatever the problem was, and then the reason why you joined the network marketing company. Why did you drink the Kool-Aid? So if you go back here, your background is so that people can relate to you. They may know other people that are like you. The problem is stating an issue that many people could or would have or can identify with, and it's a problem that you specifically have, and the why you joined is how you got through that problem. You joined, or you took the product and you felt this much better because, and that's why you joined. So again, you're stating your name, you're saying what your background or your work is, what the problem is that you solved, and why you joined to get rid of that problem. The way we say it here is, the short and long of it is, you got to keep it short. You got to pack it all in as much as you can, and you got to keep it right to the point. And that's the whole clue about it. The worst thing you can do with a testimonial is run on. You want these things to be 15 seconds or around there. Very, very short is all you're looking for a testimonial, especially if you're doing it live. People can come and ask you questions more about it later. Just remember that testimonials can be part of your toolkit. It's how you fix things to get the sale. There are things that you cannot say from the front of the room. You can't make claims, for instance, for a food product, but if somebody has a personal story that's happened to them, you can talk about that personal story, about what's happened to you personally. Use it as one of your tools, and just remember, no matter what it is that you're doing, you just have to keep practicing it. Do this over and over again. Have somebody listen to it and see if you can say it sharper and to the point so that it's shorter. Make it as short as you can and practice it so that you can do it. You may also want to practice doing several different versions of it, because there may be different reasons why you like the company or why you like the product. So just use those from your personal experience. The other thing about practice is learn everybody else's testimonial in your group or in your company, because you can always talk about somebody else's testimonial. You say, well, yeah, I have a friend of mine who knows, or I have a friend of mine who had this exact same situation as you do, and what she found was, and then you can give her testimonial. That's pretty much about it, so thank you very much.